down in the bottom of the hill, they had a couple of more. Not rubber pellet guns. Sniper rifles. Aimed at us the whole time that we were standing there. Right beside me, I had a grandmother walked up to the water line and said, "Shoot me! I'm the one leading these people out here. Shoot me!" It was a grandma. Because she wanted to lead us out there to pray. So she said, "Shoot me." And that's how these people feel. It's hard to stand on that front line and not get angry. It's hard to not be angry when they're pointing guns at you. It's hard to not be angry when you're watching your relatives get pepper sprayed standing in the water. For no reason, they were on our tribal line. They were in our tribal territory, assaulting our people. And my elders have always taught me that the easiest thing we can do as people is to get angry. But anger is a result of hurt. Anger is a result of suffering and pain. And we displace it by becoming angry instead, and then we turn to violence. But our elders teach us that even when that's happening, and they're standing there, they still pray. They still said, "We're praying for you. And we're praying for your children." That's what we could hear them saying on the other side. They weren't telling them nasty cuss words. Maybe a few of them were yelling those things, but most of them were talking peaceful talk, followed by getting pepper sprayed again and maced again. So we're taught to cry. Wachekiawana is the word that we talk about in my culture that says, "Let's pray now." But the word Wachekiawana literally translates to say, "Let's cry now," because we know that there's no words that's going to express how our hearts feel the same as what our emotions can express for us. So we find that power in prayer from our hearts, with the emotions that we feel. So rather than to pick up a rock and start throwing rocks at them, all we can do is stand and cry, watching this happen. The front line isn't out there anymore. The front line is now in the camp. Those protectors realize that. They know that, and they go there anyways to protect for us. So my plea for everybody is simply this. If we want to have life, you have to support that camp. Because they are the front line to make sure that that camp stays sustained. I've heard rumors to say that Standing Rock Camp is now like the 13th largest city in the state of North Dakota. So they're making a statement, they're making a stand, and they're growing in that strength. One of the most beautiful things that I saw going into that camp is seeing all those tribal flags lined up all the way in and all the way down the alley going into that camp. Hundreds of flags flying representing all these other different nations of people. But when they come to Standing Rock Camp, they're one nation. They're one people. A lot of people talk about how it's really confusing to be in the camp. And you might hear that over Facebook, that there's a lot of confusion in camp. It's supposed to be that way, I believe. There are people that are calling the shots. Nobody knows when an action is going to happen until everybody lets go. And everybody loads up. So there are people, even though on Facebook it's being said that there's not a lot of structure in the camp, there is structure. It's just everybody has to stay loose until it's time to move, and then they move. So on a lot of fronts, it's a very organized camp. Just real loose inside camp. So the tensions, they get high out there on the front lines. And the tensions, they get high out there on the front lines. And the tensions, they get high out there on the front lines. And the tensions, they get high out there on the front lines. And the tensions, they get high out there on the front lines. And the tensions, they get high out there on the front lines. And the tensions, they get high out there on the front lines. And the tensions, they get high out there on the front lines. And the tensions, they get high out there on the front lines. And the tensions, they get high out there on the front lines. And the tensions, they get high out there on the front lines. And the tensions, they get high out there on the front lines. And the tensions, they get high out there on the front lines. And the tensions, they get high out there on the front lines. And the tensions, they get high out there on the front lines. And the tensions, they get high out there on the front lines. And the tensions, they get high out there on the front lines. And the tensions, they get high out there on the front lines. And the tensions, they get high out there on the front lines. And the tensions, they get high out there on the front lines. And the tensions, they A lot of emotion goes on out there. But then you go back to camp, and just like that, everybody's hearts lighten up. We share the day with each other, and we remember how to be peaceful in our hearts again. And that's what happens every day that those actions take place inside the camp. People grow strong because of it. I want to share a song in closing my comments. And this song was made originally for substance abuse. And it was made for a recovery program, for the Red Road 12 Steps program. Substance abuse recovery. But the words are very, very powerful. All the songs that we sing in our culture have words that are very significant of something that helps us to get focused with our intent when we get ready to pray. And this song does that very same thing. And in translation, the words to these songs, this song, it says, all over the universe, our people are suffering. But my mother and my father, they told me that I am Dakota, and that the people are depending on me. And because I am Dakota, I have to be strong. That's what these words say. So you can see where the translation of these words would be used really well for the idea of substance abuse and recovery. But we also have to think about recovery from our society. This is what I have to wonder about. Where is our place? What is my place in society? What is my place in all of this that's happening? What can I do to effectively make some change and help my relatives? Not just the ones at Standing Rock, but everybody that wants to drink the water that's coming off of that watershed all the way across the central United States, from north to south. Our elders teach us that in everything that we do, we have to be looking within ourselves, introspective. When you get introspective about the situations that are going on around you, it makes you beg the question, what could I do differently to help or prevent situations? That's the way our elders teach us to think about what's going on in the world. And when we think introspectively, it helps us to keep from being angry. Because then I'm looking at myself. And it's hard for us to get angry at ourselves. It's easy to do when we make a mistake. But generally speaking, nobody walks around, oh, I'm mad at myself. Oh, leave me alone, I'm so mad at myself. It's not like that. Because we can learn to be introspective to yourself. This song teaches us to look inside our own hearts and say, how can I make a difference? How can I make a difference introspectively in the world that I live in and for what I'm responsible for? So with that, I want to share this song, and I want to ask that it is a prayer song to me. It's a prayer song